The Waterloo Region District School Board's facing a legal challenge over land acknowledgements at school council meetings. A parent says he's been told not only are they mandatory, but the issue cannot be debated by council members. CTV's Krista Simpson on this story for us today and joining us now with details. Krista.
Tony, to be clear, we're talking about school councils, which have also been called parent councils. They're advisory bodies at each school made up of parents, guardians, and caregivers that meet at least 4 times a year. This parent and his lawyer are arguing the school board is overstepping its boundaries by requiring those meetings to start with land acknowledgements.
Jeffrey Horseman is a father of 3 and member of the school council at Kitchener-Waterloo Collegiate and Vocational School. He's asking for a judicial review of what the application describes as the Waterloo Region District School Board's mandate to start school council meetings with land acknowledgements. Horseman also says when he asked to put the matter on his school council agenda to discuss, the request was denied.
So he's asking the court to step in and review the board's decision, alleging that the decision infringes his right to freedom of conscience because it's imposing the practice of the land acknowledgement. It's infringing his right to freedom of expression because it's preventing him from engaging in debate on the council on that issue.
The court document says recently Horseman met with the school board's system administrator of equity and inclusive education, who said that the territorial acknowledgements would continue at school council meetings. And when Horseman asked why it couldn't be discussed by council members, the administrator is quoted as replying, "Discussions that question or challenge established equity-focused practices, including territorial acknowledgements, fall outside the scope of school council business. These expectations are in place to ensure that all participants experience school council as a safe, respectful, and inclusive space." But Horseman's lawyer, Hatem Kier, says the board putting rules in place for school councils is overstepping its jurisdiction.
The school council is supposed to have an independent existence so that it can actually give a voice to parents. It's one of the few ways that parents do have that voice. And so by the board stepping in and dictating what the council is and is not allowed to discuss, they're violating the statutes that give school councils their existence.
Kier says this is different than the board mandating land acknowledgements at its schools and events.
Schools are run by school staff who are board employees and they're under the board's authority. But the school council is something different. They're created by a regulation under the Education Act. And that regulation gives very specific and limited roles to the board and to board personnel. So for example, principals are allowed to sit on the council, but they're not given a vote.
The application is asking the court to overturn the school board's mandate.
The school council would then be free to handle this issue on its own terms according to its own procedure.
The Waterloo Region District School Board declined to comment to CTV News because the matter is before the courts.
As for the next steps, both sides will exchange evidence and legal arguments and make their court filings. It could be many months before the case is heard in a courtroom. Tony.
All right, CTV's Krista Simpson on that legal challenge. Krista, thank you.